Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a story that starts with compassion and ends with a chilling twist. It's the kind of moment that seems ordinary at first. A man sees a woman standing in the cold rain, drenched, shivering, lost. Out of the kindness of his heart, he opens his door and lets her in. But what he doesn't know is that she's carrying more than just heartbreak. She's carrying a loaded gun. And the reason she's there changes everything. The exterior of the story unfolds in a quiet, rural setting. A small wooden cabin sits surrounded by thick pine trees and mud-soaked trails. Rain pours endlessly, beating against the tin roof as the wind howls. It's the kind of storm that makes even the toughest rancher feel isolated. That night, the man wasn't expecting company. But fate had other plans. She appeared out of the mist, soaked to the bone, eyes wide with fear, and something else he couldn't name yet. Maybe guilt. Maybe desperation. Her jeans were torn at the knees, her boots had no laces, and her coat was too thin to fight the cold. She looked like someone running from something big. Inside the house, things were warm but sparse. The fire crackled low. The interior was simple: a worn couch, a few dusty books on a shelf, and a kettle that always whistled too loud. She sat quietly by the fire while her clothes dried. She barely spoke. When she finally did, she lied about her name. Said she was just passing through. Said her car broke down. But the man wasn't the kind to ask too many questions. He offered her a blanket, some soup, and a dry pair of socks. Performance-wise, the woman played her part almost too well. Calm, controlled, polite but distant. There was something strange about the way she glanced at the door. Like she was waiting for someone. Or something. The man had lived alone for years. He knew when someone was hiding something. And this woman was definitely hiding something. What he didn't know yet was that tucked inside the lining of her wet backpack was a loaded revolver. And she had already used it once. In terms of safety, the cabin offered little. The door didn't lock properly, the phone line was down, and the nearest neighbor was 4 miles away. He should have been more cautious. But the man had always believed in giving people a second chance. That belief had cost him before. This time, it would nearly kill him. What makes this story unique is not just the twist, but the tension. Every moment between them was laced with unspoken questions. Why did she keep glancing at the window? Why did she flinch when he lit a match? Why was her hand always near her bag? She pretended to be calm, but her pulse betrayed her. She wasn't there by accident. She had chosen his house for a reason. The man soon discovered a newspaper clipping tucked inside her bag. His face was circled in red ink. That's when he realized she wasn't running from someone. She had come for him. Price is something you pay in many ways. For him, the price of kindness was nearly his life. For her, the price of vengeance was never getting peace. Turns out, years ago, during his time as a police officer in another state, he was part of a failed raid. A woman was killed, her mother. She had waited over a decade to track him down. Rain was just her cover. The gun was her justice. But when she raised it, trembling hands and tear-filled eyes met a man who didn't beg or defend himself. He just said he was sorry. And for a second, the gun wavered. The conclusion leaves you thinking. She didn't pull the trigger. Instead, she dropped the gun and collapsed to the floor, sobbing. The pain in her chest was heavier than the steel in her hand. He didn't call the cops. He just sat beside her until morning. Some wounds never fully heal. Some truths never fully settle. But in that quiet, broken cabin, they both chose not to let hate decide their fate. She left before sunrise, and the man never saw her again. But he never forgot her face or the rain-soaked moment that changed both their lives forever.